Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there friends, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. I am so glad to have you here with me today as we begin our study in Psalm 17. Psalm 17 is our focus all this week. And we're going to be looking at this prayer of David. This is, 15 verses long. So we're going to do 3 verses apiece every day. This is an important prayer, and it goes with Psalm 18. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. The inscription, the introduction to this psalm, calls it a prayer of David, which many of the ancient commentators have taken and said, why this one? Why is this one entitled A Prayer of David when so many of the Psalms contain his prayers? But this psalm is one prayer from start to finish. It is an entire prayer. We never break out of it. We never step away from the prayer at all. So many other Psalms have prayers included in them and things that are said could be prayed, but this is David's prayer. And as a matter of fact, I think it could be said that this is the prayer of David, not just a prayer of David. But I guess that's to be decided in eternity. This Psalm 17, a prayer of David, is a prayer for deliverance, and the psalm that follows it, Psalm 18, is the song of deliverance, the deliverance that God gave David after he prayed this prayer. So we have the prayer, the request, and then in Psalm 18 we have the result in David's song of praise because the Lord had delivered him. Now, let me go ahead and begin. I'm going to read for you from the King James Version this week and then make comments out of my own translation. The King James Version, I think, is a better sounding translation than my own. So we'll begin with verse 1 today. Hear the right, O Lord, attend unto my cry, give ear unto my prayer, that goeth not out of feigned lips. Let my sentence come from thy presence. Let thine eyes behold the things that are equal. For thou hast proved mine heart, thou hast visited me in the night. Thou hast tried me, and shalt find nothing. I am purposed that my mouth shall not transgress. So that's verses 1, 2, and 3, and you'll notice that David here begins by saying, he says, hear the right, O Lord. He begins by saying, hear the right, O Lord. Now I have this translated, hear, O righteous Lord, but in a sense he's asking the Lord to hear what's right in righteousness. So he begins by a defense of himself. I mean, notice all through verse 3, he says, hear what's right, or in righteousness hear. Incline, give ear to my prayer, but it's not from treacherous lips. That is, his lips are not treacherous. And then you'll notice that he comes back to his mouth at the end of verse 3. He says, consider me, for my mouth has not transgressed at all. So he's stating his case for his own rightness in the matter that he's about to ask God for. So, of course, as we look at this, what a great start to a prayer. Hear me, incline to me, give ear to me. He says, before your eyes, judgment goes forth. Your eyes behold what's right. So David knows he stands in a very certain place. It's certain that God does rightly. And he comes with his argument, I too have done rightly, and my request now is not from unrighteousness. And of course, he tells the Lord, he says, you've tried me, you know. This is not something I've hidden from you, you know. You've tried my heart, you visited me by night, you have refined me, but you haven't found anything. So you notice the confidence here of the psalmist when he prays. And he takes this confidence the next step in verses 5 through 6, and we'll see those tomorrow. So I hope that you'll join me tomorrow as we look at Psalm 17. Join me then here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.